The United States Embassy in Nigeria has cancelled all visa appointments scheduled for Wednesday, March 4th, 2026, citing a high potential for protest in Abuja amid escalating hostilities between the United States and Iran. Hi. Welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, United States President Donald Trump said Tuesday that it is too late for Iran to pursue negotiations despite signals from Tehran indicating interest in talks. In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote, "Their air defense, air force, navy, and leadership is gone. They want to talk. I said too late." His remarks came 2 days after he had indicated openness to discussions amid ongoing joint US-Israeli military operations against Iran. Speaking to reporters at the White House during a meeting with Friedrich Merz, Trump asserted that the attacks had caused extensive damage. At number 9, German Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich have rekindled their interest in Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen, with head coach Vincent Kompany considering the Nigerian as a potential replacement for Kane. Punch Sport Extra reports, Bayern Munich are still in talks to renew Kane's contract amid interest from Barcelona and clubs in the Premier League. Kane may only be in his third season with Bayern, but he has already cemented himself as one of the club's best strikers, with a return of 130 goals from 133 competitive matches. With no offer on the table yet, the club sees Osimhen as the most suitable candidate to replace the England captain following his impressive run of form in Turkey. At number 8, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria says it has issued more than 70,000 gold cashless cards as part of efforts to ease congestion and stabilize operations following disruptions caused by the rollout of its nationwide cashless payment policy at airports. Speaking during an interview with Arise News on Tuesday, the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Henry Agbebire, acknowledged the initial difficulties and apologized to affected passengers. Agbebire disclosed that while FAAN had begun sensitization on card onboarding as far back as October last year, many passengers delayed registration until the enforcement date, leading to heavy traffic at airport gates. At number 7, the Rivers State House of Assembly has confirmed receipt of the list of commissioner-nominees from Governor Siminalayi Fubara and invited 9 of the nominees for screening and confirmation. The submission of the list by the governor comes about 3 weeks after the sacked 8 commissioners who were not affected by the Supreme Court judgment recognizing Martin Amiewele as the authentic Speaker of the Assembly. Fubara also dismissed all his special advisors. The list of the 9 commissioners is believed to be the first batch, with more names expected in the cabinet. At number 6, total value tax earnings rose to 1.8 trillion naira in January as a new sharing formula commenced, altering how the proceeds are split among the federal government, state, and local governments. Findings by the Punch have shown. Documents presented at the February meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee and obtained by the Punch on Tuesday showed that total VAT collections by the Nigeria Revenue Service stood at 1.8 trillion naira in January 2026, compared with 913.96 billion naira in December 2025. The increase of 169.20 billion naira represents an 18.5% rise month on month. However, the full 1.8 trillion naira was not available for sharing. VAT deductions at source amounted to 79.94 billion naira in January, up from 67.45 billion naira in December, leaving a net VAT of 1 trillion naira for distribution. At number 5, NGX Regulation Limited has issued a firm advisory to the investing public, warning against the dangers of speculative trading and urging market participants to base their investment decisions on company fundamentals rather than unverified information. In a statement released on Wednesday in Lagos, NGX RegCo, the independent regulatory arm of the Nigerian Exchange Group, addressed notable price movements observed in the shares of certain listed companies over recent trading sessions. The exchange clarified that the advisory is part of its standard market surveillance function designed to ensure a fair, orderly, and transparent market. At number 4, Nigeria's maritime sector has marked a significant milestone with a 24.8% increase in total cargo throughput in 2025, a jump from about 103.6 million metric tons in 2024 to 129.3 million metric tons in 2025, according to the 2025 Operational Performance Report released by the Nigerian Port Authority and signed by the NPA Managing Director, Dr. Abubakar Dansoho. The growth figure is one of the most significant in in Nigeria's maritime history, strengthening the country's standing in regional and global trade. At number 3, the Ondo state government has ordered security agencies to intensify operations against kidnapping syndicates operating in part of the state following a rise in recent incidents. The order followed investigations that revealed that some of the attacks were orchestrated by local collaborators seeking to portray the state as unsafe. Disclosing this in a statement on Tuesday, the State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Idowu Ajanako, said criminal activities were aimed at creating panic and damaging the state's image. The government also called on traditional rulers to remain vigilant and monitor activities within their domains, while residents were advised to promptly report suspicious movement to security agencies. At number 2, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, has taken over the prosecution of his immediate predecessor, Abubakar Malami. Malami faces terrorism and illegal firearms possession charges brought against him by the Department of the State Service. Fagbemi, a senior advocate of Nigeria, took over the trial from the DSS on Wednesday at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Director of the Public Prosecution of the Federation, Rotimi Oyedepo, announced the Attorney General's appearance in the matter. Oyedepo told Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik that the trial cannot proceed because Fagbemi has just taken over the prosecution. At number 1, the United States Embassy in Nigeria has cancelled all visa appointments scheduled for Wednesday, March 4, 2026, citing a high potential for protest in Abuja amid escalating hostilities between the United States and Iran. Disclosing this in a statement via its website on Wednesday, the embassy warned of potential demonstrations in the Federal Capital Territory, calling on American citizens to remain indoors. The warning comes 4 days after US to Israel airstrikers targeted and killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Several other high-ranking Iranian officials were also said to have been killed in the strikes, triggering swift retaliation from Tehran. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.